Hey YouTube, today we're going to be talking about shotguns and why I think they're the best option for a home defense situation. And before we get started, I'm going to let you know that this shotgun we have here in front of us is not loaded and we are clear to make this video. When I pick it up, I will show you there's nothing in the chamber. So what we're going to talk about first is what a shotgun actually is. So a shotgun is a smoothbore firearm. A smoothbore firearm has no rifling inside the barrel. And the reason you do something like that is in a smoothbore situation, there's no drag upon exiting the barrel, and you don't get any kind of drag, so you don't lose any type of kinetic energy. Now, in a rifled situation, like in a pistol or a rifle, you will have lands and grooves inside the barrel, and it creates a spinning motion for the projectile, and it makes it a little bit more precise and puts it on target. With a shotgun, precision shooting is really not what you're after. You just want the most amount of energy to expel at one time. Now, with a shotgun, it's going to be most effective within short distances. Remember, you don't have a rifle barrel and you're not going to make precise shots. So you need something that will expel the most energy in the shortest distance. And when you're doing home defense inside your home, short distances is all you're going to be dealing with. You're not going to be 100-yard precision shooting or trying to reach 1,000 yards, with a high-powered scope or anything like that. Now, this shotgun right here, this is a Kel-Tec KSG. And this, I believe, is the most genius design that you could come up with for a home defense 12-gauge shotgun. So let me pick this up first. And first of all, I'm going to show you there's nothing in this chamber. You can see there's no shells inside here, and we're clear. So this thing came out around 2011. This is a bullpup design. So a bullpup design means the chamber is right behind the trigger guard. So you have a full-length barrel and a short package. So this actually has an 18.5-inch barrel, and the entire package here is 26.5 inches. So it's a very small package that you have here. Now, this is a pump action shotgun, so it actually pumps, looks like this, and a pump shotgun is going to be your most reliable source when dealing with a shotgun. There's going to be no malfunctions when you like using a semi-automatic shotgun or semi-automatic of anything for that matter. You pump it every time you do it. Now, what gives this the advantage over this, if you'll look right here, it has two chambers, two loading tubes, and when you look down here where you load the shells up, there's a little selector switch right here. So when you run out of one side, you just switch together and it starts loading them out of that. So that gives us a total capacity of 14 2 3/4 inch shotgun shells in a 26.5-inch package. Now, one of the disadvantages to most shotguns when you're talking about home defense is the length of the weapon. If you're trying to clear your house out and you have a full-size 18-inch barrel, you'll be down on capacity and it's going to be very hard to maneuver in tight quarters. Well, this fixes all of that. This is only 26.5 inches long, so it's very maneuverable. Now, we're going to talk about gauges. Shotguns are usually measured, in the United States at least, in gauges. And this happens to be a 12-gauge shotgun, and a lot of people don't even know what that means. So I'm going to try my best, without boring everybody, to explain how you come up with the name 12-gauge. So if you look at this barrel right here, the way it's figured, it's a whole mathematical equation, but you take the diameter of this barrel and you figure the exact spherical size of a lead ball that would fit inside this chamber. So whatever size lead ball that's a perfect sphere fits inside this, and you weigh it, and however many of those it takes to come up with 1 pound would be your gauge. So if you took lead and you take the density of it, you make a perfect sphere ball that fits inside here, it would take 12 of those to equal 1 pound, and that's how you come up with the word 12 gauge. It works with 20 gauge, anything like that. 16 gauge, same thing. So it's just the size of the projectile. Now, with shotguns, when they expel their projectiles, all the kinetic energy is not sent through one projectile. Most shotgun shells have a variety of shot inside the actual shell, and it's packed in by wadding. So when it's released, you have multiple projectiles coming out the end of the barrel, and the kinetic energy produced by the cartridge is evenly distributed amongst all the shots. So you can have like large buckshot, you can have one large slug, you can have very teeny tiny like bird shot and stuff like that, and it expels all its energy upon all the shot leaving. So what that does, it gives you a greater room for error. When you're shooting a shotgun, you have however many pounds of energy that the cartridge produces, and it spreads it over a large area. So you can like breach doors with it, and you can knock targets down. It's a massive amount of energy that's produced, and you will not over penetrate because all the energy and velocity is not expelled upon one projectile. So inside your home, if you're clearing out your home and you had to take a shot, you're not going through a wall and hurting something that was never meant to be hurt. But this thing will do a massive amount of damage to a target at close quarters, and you don't have to worry about hurting things that you was not meant to hurt. Now, as far as maneuverability, this thing is so short. I mean, you can go around corners, you can do anything you want. I have this equipped with just flip up sights because we're not precision shooting here, just something to pick up on for when you're just something as an aim point on it. Now, I have a vertical grip on this thing also that you can use it as a pump action. It holds onto the gun, and you can work this by using this vertical grip on it. Very cool design. Kel-Tec, I think, is always one step ahead of everybody else when it comes to, technology. They really come out with some neat stuff. But I've mentioned before that I think a shotgun is the ultimate home defense weapon because, you got a lot of firepower. You will not over penetrate. It creates a massive amount of damage, and you don't have to be a precision shooter. When you couple that together with this thing's small size and 26.5 inches here, and you have a full length barrel, so you're not going to lose any kind of velocity, and the massive amount of capacity this thing holds. It holds 14 2 3/4 shells. It'll hold 6 3-inch Magnum shells in it. So 6 on each side would be 12. You order 14 with 2 3/4. That's a massive amount of firepower in such a small package. And then when you add the fact that this is not a semi-automatic weapon, it's a pump action shotgun, which is known to be probably the most reliable type of shotgun there is, I don't see how anybody can dispute the fact that this is probably the ultimate shotgun right here. The ultimate. So if you wanted a home defense weapon, this is something you really might want to look at. A 12 gauge Kel-Tec KSG. It's 26.5 inches long, weighs 7 pounds, will hold 14 rounds of 12 gauge shells in it. Pump action, and it'll be reliable. And what a piece of firepower here. Anyway, folks, I think that a 12 gauge shotgun is probably your best bet. You're not going to over penetrate. You're definitely going to knock down the target. You don't have to be a great shot to do it. And I just think it's a great option. But I've showed this before. I'm never really going into depth about why I think a shotgun is the greatest home defense weapon. I figured I would do that today, and I wanted to show what I now use as my home defense weapon here. If you have any questions on the Kel-Tec KSG, I believe I have a video showing this gun that goes more into depth about it. Feel free to ask. I'm not an expert on it, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.